Hi there, good evening. Welcome along to the Transfer Show. Michael Bridge and James Savunda, I hope, will retain your interest. They're here to talk us through all the day's transfer news.
Liverpool reaches Ibrahim Mbaye transfer agreement as Bradley Barcola talks continue. Liverpool remains in talks with PSG over a double swoop for Bradley Barcola and Ibrahim Mbaye, and reports suggest talks are progressing with one player. Liverpool has reached an agreement with Ibrahim Mbaye over a move to Anfield, according to reports in France. Andoni Iraola is in need of attacking reinforcements this summer following the departure of Mohamed Salah, while Cody Gakpo's future remains uncertain. PSG star Bradley Barcola has emerged as Liverpool's top target, and reports have emerged that the Reds have launched an improved bid for the France World Cup star. But his teammate Mbaye also remains high on the wish list. The 18-year-old will not cost anywhere near the $196 million, £145 million, that PSG is demanding for Barcola. But the European champions are believed to want $232 million, £171 million, for the double deal. Talks are believed to be ongoing as Liverpool looks to cut down that asking price, but RMC Sport reports that there is dialogue with Mbaye's camp. It is claimed that the Senegal international would prefer a move to Liverpool over Bayer Leverkusen and has agreed terms on a 5-year contract. It will now be down to the Reds to finalize terms with PSG. Both Barcola and Mbaye were left out of the PSG squad for the French Super Cup defeat to Lens at the weekend, and a frosty Luis Enrique refused to discuss their futures after the match. "I will speak about the transfer window when it is finished," he said. Speaking before that game, the PSG boss did open up on the possibility of players leaving the club before the end of the window. He said, "We are a very young, very ambitious team," he said. "It is important for us to make changes and look for players who enjoy playing our way and who love playing for PSG. That is very clear to us. When a player doesn't want to come here or doesn't have a smile on their face about being here, it is better to find another solution." Liverpool started with Rio Ngumoha and Gakpo in the wide positions for the second friendly with Como on Sunday, and the pair look poised to get the nod against Newcastle in the Premier League opener. But with Victor Munoz new to the Premier League and Hugo Ekitike remaining sidelined through injury, Iraola knows he must make additions sooner rather than later. Liverpool delay for Bradley Barcola risks costly transfer mistake repeat. Liverpool continues to delay getting a deal for Paris Saint-Germain forward Bradley Barcola over the line, which could prove costly for the Reds in the short term. Bradley Barcola's potential move to Liverpool hasn't quite taken off yet, as the Reds still have some key hurdles to jump before a deal can be considered done. While things appear to be fine between the player and club, with reports claiming that he has given the green light on a switch to Merseyside and potential personal terms, there are still club-to-club negotiations ongoing. As things stand, the valuation remains the main sticking point between the two parties, with Paris Saint-Germain setting a high initial price on the star, while Liverpool is keen to reduce that before agreeing to a deal. Those discussions have reached a delicate stage, as both clubs wish to hold out for the best deal possible, with the deadline looming large. But some concessions will have to be made to get a transfer completed. There is a balance to be struck, as Liverpool needs to complete the transfer, but knows that any move will be expensive and could impact any other moves in this window or the next. That balance also extends to the player himself, as any further delay could prove costly for the Reds, as was proven last summer with the transfer business conducted. That surrounded a move for Alexander Isak, as Liverpool played a game with Newcastle to get a deal done for the striker, despite the Magpies' hesitation to complete one. Eventually, they gave in, allowing the Swedish international to move for a Premier League record fee, but it came with another price attached to it. Having driven for the move, Isak went on strike over the summer and didn't take part in preseason, resulting in him being far from his physical best when he eventually made the move to Anfield. That took some time and perhaps cost Liverpool in many ways before he could get up and running. Unfortunately, by the time Isak was ready to compete and started to show his best, he picked up an injury that left him sidelined for months and halted his progression. Those struggles stem from the lack of preseason and early matches in the season itself to build up fitness, something that could happen with Barcola if the same approach is taken. The winger is yet to be involved in any of PSG's matches so far, sitting on the bench for the UEFA Super Cup final against Aston Villa, before he was omitted from the entire playing roster for the Trophée des Champions final against Lens over the weekend. Each game missed is another opportunity missed to build up fitness to get back to his full capacity, when he hopefully makes that switch to Liverpool. It means each delay from the Reds in getting a deal done could have a knock-on effect for the rest of the campaign, with hopes that the star can hit the ground running in comparison to last summer's arrivals. Xabi Alonso ready to gift-wrap £73 million Chelsea star for Liverpool. Liverpool have been struggling at right-back ever since Trent Alexander-Arnold left the club for Real Madrid. Richard Hughes offered Conor Bradley a contract extension and added Jeremy Frimpong for around £30 million from Bayer Leverkusen. But Bradley has been out of action since January owing to a bad knee injury, and Frimpong has appeared ill at ease at right-back throughout an uncertain first year at Anfield. Joe Gomez, Curtis Jones and Dominic Szoboszlai are among the players tried at right-back under Arne Slot last season. And it's apparent that a decent option in the position would be welcomed in this summer window. That is, of course, so long as the price is right, with sporting director Hughes already committed to spending big on a forward. Liverpool consider Malo Gusto. A solution could be to add Malo Gusto from Chelsea, with the French defender uncertain of his place under Xabi Alonso. A report in Fichajes is claiming that the 23-year-old France international is a confirmed target for Iraola and Liverpool, but Chelsea are currently holding out for an eye-watering fee. The London club still has several issues to resolve, the report reads. One of them could be the situation of this French defender, capable of playing on either flank, as he is a player sought after by another top team, Liverpool. To let him go, the Stamford Bridge club had set a price of around €85 million. Chelsea value Malo Gusto at £73 million. That's nearly £73 million for the fullback, by no means an easy deal for the Reds to conclude. However, should talks progress favourably, claims the report, then there remains a chance that Chelsea could compromise on the fee. He's a key addition to help solidify the squad with which Andoni Iraola will be aiming for titles, the report reads. And Chelsea might be willing to lower their asking price for this player. Xabi Alonso could lower price for Malo Gusto. Gusto joined Chelsea from Lyon back in 2023 after showing strong form for his boyhood club as a teenager. He is under contract at Stamford Bridge until 2030, emphasizing that Chelsea remain in control of his transfer destiny. Manchester City are also thought to be sniffing around Gusto, with the Citizens' new coach Enzo Maresca acquainted with the fullback from his time as Chelsea boss. We are currently waiting to see how Xabi Alonso's Chelsea will line up for the new season ahead. The Blues have signed Marco Palestra for wingback from Atalanta and have also been experimenting with using Pedro Neto in that position. Those developments could leave Gusto without a starting berth and facing the prospect of looking elsewhere. If there's a deal to be done for Gusto, then Richard Hughes would be wise to consider it. Ryan Gravenberch opens door to more Liverpool transfers after Jeremy Jacquet praised Ryan Gravenberch was speaking to the media after Liverpool's 2-0 win over Como in a pre-season friendly on Sunday, with the midfielder discussing the impact of new signing Jeremy Jacquet and working under head coach Andoni Iraola. Ryan Gravenberch has expressed his delight at working under Andoni Iraola at Liverpool, with the midfielder also singing the praises of new signing Jeremy Jacquet. Jacquet featured in just one pre-season fixture under Iraola, yet delivered an assured display before netting at the end of the first half in Sunday's 2-0 victory over Como at Anfield. The France under-21s international, who completed a move from Rennes on July 1st, played only 45 minutes before making way for Ronald Araujo, who arrived last week on a season-long loan from Barcelona. Gravenberch was full of praise for how both players performed on their unofficial Liverpool debuts and also shed light on why he has been relishing his work with new head coach Iraola since the Dutch international returned to club duties last month. I think you've seen it yourselves, Gravenberch told Sky Sports. Both played very well today. It's nice. They played almost beautiful, you know, and did very well, and I'm happy they are here, reports the Liverpool Echo. Of course, to get his first goal in his first game, I am happy for Jeremy. I think his first action, he got the ball and he slipped away, you know. So he is comfortable on the ball, and one against one defending. He is doing a really great job. So I am really happy he is here. Everyone loved it, so I am really happy for him. Today was a nice test to give us confidence, so I think we are ready. Of course, you don't want to concede, so we have to defend better, and from there we can go forward. Against Leeds and last week against Monaco, it was 2-0 and we gave it away, so it was important to focus on a clean sheet. I think it's getting better and better in terms of possession and pressing. I think we played well today. It's really nice working with Iraola. It's a bit different to last season in terms of pressing, and on the ball, there's lots of freedom for everyone. Regarding the possibility of fresh signings ahead of the 1st September transfer deadline, Gravenberch commented, "That's up to the club. I think we have good footballers, but if they want to buy more players, let's see. We have to do really better than last season. We'll see what happens. What's our minimum aim? Let's see what the season brings." Liverpool winners and losers from pre-season as Trey Nioni takes his chance. Liverpool's playing roster had plenty of winners and losers across the whole of pre-season, as Andoni Iraola considers his options moving forward for the campaign ahead. Pre-season is drawing to a close for Liverpool, with the first taste of real competitive action just around the corner for the team and new boss Andoni Iraola. It was a bit of a mixed training camp for the manager, which wasn't without its problems, as he was required to navigate through some tricky spells in his first few weeks in charge. The Reds have had a phased return to action, with the World Cup wreaking havoc for plenty of teams, as key stars featured at different times in the preparation period. Barring those who are injured, everyone is now available to Iraola, with the Liverpool boss overseeing 6 friendly matches across the summer, with 3 wins, 1 draw, and 2 defeats across those clashes. So with the preseason now ending, here's a look at the biggest winners and losers in the team from the training preparations. Winner, Trey Nioni. Perhaps one of the standout stars of the Liverpool preseason training camp, Trey Nioni certainly made his mark in midfield for Iraola, particularly on the U.S. tour. The Academy starlet picked up more minutes in preseason than he managed last season, pointing to just how much he has been trusted so far. The 19-year-old possesses plenty of calm and poise on the ball, something that is required amidst the chaos of an Iraola system that can leave players running all over the place. While it's unlikely that he will be a guaranteed starter this season, Nioni has proven he is more than capable of taking on some serious minutes when it matters, and could add another dimension to the midfield moving forward. Winner, Dominik Szoboszlai. Dominik Szoboszlai looked back to his best again in pre-season, picking up a goal and 2 assists in the first 2 matches, returning in fine physical condition. The lack of a World Cup campaign could be a blessing in disguise for the 25-year-old, who is fresh off signing a new contract at Liverpool and could be handed a new leadership role in the process. If he can continue to take some of his pre-season form and fitness into the new season, then he will be able to get back to his very best once again. Winner, Rio Ngumoha. There is still work for Rio Ngumoha to do, but the pre-season provided another interesting test for the youngster to pass under a new manager. The winger was placed on the right flank for much of the summer, where he showed glimpses of being able to perform there instead of his usual left-wing position. Ngumoha picked up 1 goal during the training camp, and while he will be looking for even more output this coming season, expect even more minutes to come his way under Iraola. Loser, Curtis Jones. It's been a difficult summer for Curtis Jones, who has been heavily linked with a transfer to Inter Milan that hasn't fully materialized just yet. The star wasn't quite at his best for Liverpool in the pre-season tour of the US, which wasn't helped by a visible argument surrounding the captaincy armband. Since returning from the US, Jones hasn't been involved as he continues to work through a slight hip issue, but it's unclear whether he will now play any part for the Reds moving forward. Loser, Harvey Elliott. It's tough not to feel sorry for Harvey Elliott. The playmaker never expected to return to Liverpool after making a move to Aston Villa on loan, with an obligation to buy after a small number of matches. That obligation was never met, however, and his return to Merseyside has come with a fresh challenge ahead. The 23-year-old had the chance to earn a place under Iraola, but it seems as though he hasn't managed to do that. It means an exit could be on the cards, with just 1 year remaining on his contract as the transfer window enters the final few weeks. Loser, Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez is a useful depth option for Liverpool when fit and available, but his injury issues have become a clear problem at a time when the roster is thin on options. Just minutes into the opening match of the preseason, the defender suffered another muscular injury that will now see him out of action for at least the opening clash of the Premier League season. With Liverpool bolstering the back line this summer, Gomez's inability to take the opportunity to show his reliability could come as a huge blow. As he enters the final year of his contract, there may be question marks surrounding a renewal. Loser, Georgi Mamardashvili. The goalkeeping department is an area that could see significant change in the next year as Alisson Becker enters the final 12 months of his contract. Georgi Mamardashvili was signed with the idea of him becoming the eventual number one between the sticks, but he has done little to convince others that he can do that. The shot-stopper showed his usual frailties in the preseason tour, while Alisson's return has added a calming presence at the back. It's unclear whether Mamardashvili will be able to claim that number one shirt for himself in the future, but the chances to do so are running out.